Floyd Mayweather Jr. says that Anthony Joshua will be back and he's only one that is perfect and can stay undefeated. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. So, as we witness, everybody's reacting to this fight. Floyd Mayweather react to this fight. He had a few words to say that, Anthony Joshua, it ain't over for him. He took a loss and he'll be back, And here's my take on that situation. I think Anthony Joshua, I did discredit him a lot yesterday. I was happy that he lost, people, because you signed a contract with Eddie Hearn, right? And that's 10 years, right? You say he has 10 years with Eddie Hearn on that contract, that lifetime contract. So if you got 10 years, out of those 10 years, you're going to be doing everything to avoid Deontay Wilder, right? Because Deontay Wilder, let's be honest, Deontay Wilder's got 5 years left, okay? Deontay Wilder does not have that much time in the heavyweight division, and he's getting older. Deontay Wilder's going to be 36 very soon. So this gives an opportunity for Deontay Wilder to get a shot at all of them belts. Alexander Usyk has shocked the boxing world, and don't even be surprised if we see some more upsets throughout the rest of this year, finishing up the year. And I think Anthony Joshua, he did okay. He made adjustments. But like I said, there was fighting. I should have broke it down more specifically. They was fighting for foot position. If you guys pay attention to that fight, look how Anthony Joshua and look how Usyk was fighting for a foot position. Look how they was timing at the jab. Look how they was making adjustments with the jab. Now, Usyk, for a guy that had a shorter reach, a 78-inch reach, he made it look easy. Because when you're a bigger guy like Anthony Joshua that has an 83-inch arm reach, you are supposed to blind your opponent with that jab. And Anthony Joshua has a good jab. He just didn't do work. He felt like that he just couldn't adjust to Alexander Usyk's style. And when Anthony Joshua start pushing the gas on you, when you start hitting Anthony Joshua with big clean lefts, big clean lights like Alexander Usyk would do it, he gets that anger build up inside him. He's at the point he wants to walk you down and knock you out and stand flat-footed on most of his punches. Now, there were some times Anthony Joshua did land some big right hands, but they didn't land like they should. They kept landing on top of the forehead, and he did bounce Usyk's head back. But Usyk said, "No, that ish ain't gonna work. I'm gonna come straight forward at you." And as we seen in that 12th round, this is what's gonna happen if they rematch. Usyk, all he had to do is stay with that same game plan. Train a little bit harder because Usyk was getting tired. I understand that. He's a heavyweight. Heavyweights gets tired faster. But Usyk needs to stay with that same game plan. Keep that lateral movement. Outbox Anthony Joshua like he did. And what was crazy to me was Usyk trainer says, "Nah, don't knock him out. Do what you was told." So, if Usyk really wanted to knock Anthony Joshua out, he could. Now, Usyk needs to show up one more time. He needs to beat Anthony Joshua. There's a lot of people now saying that Usyk is going to win this fight again. I wouldn't be surprised if Usyk does win again. This begs the question, will Anthony Joshua do the same thing in the second fight, just like he did Andy Ruiz, was being timid and being scared and not throwing punches because Usyk was applying the pressure? We could see a whole different fight. We could see that Anthony Joshua be on his bike and try to run from Alexander Usyk, because Alexander Usyk, he never knew Alexander Usyk would throw this many punches like that before, overwhelming him. So Alexander Usyk has that in his arsenal. By Alexander Usyk being the smart boxer he is, he's not going to take a chance of trying to get himself knocked out. And Alexander Usyk, we have to give credit to his defense. His defense was on point last night. And Y'all can go watch the replay, Floyd isn't shocked that Anthony Joshua lost because there's only one Floyd Mayweather that's undefeated. But now there are some fighters that's undefeated, like Andre Ward, Rocky Marciano, and one of my favorite UK fighters, which there would never be, is a Joe Calzaghe. You know, Joe Calzaghe is probably one of the luckiest men in the world. Being one of the greatest. That man. If Joe Calzaghe really wanted to, he could have went 50-0 as well. But Joe Calzaghe, he felt like he did enough in the sport, and people wanted to discredit him, man, too. But that's a whole nother video. But point of the matter is, Floyd Mayweather says he'll be back. There's only one Floyd Mayweather that stay undefeated. Anthony Joshua at this point did make adjustments, but it wasn't enough. And I don't know what the hell he was trying to do when he was trying to get on the same level as Alexander Usyk. And shout out to Tay Jones. If y'all know the brother Tay Jones, he knows Deontay Wilder personally. Deontay Wilder has called him yesterday on the show live. And Tay Jones reported back to us that Deontay Wilder was not shocked that Alexander Usyk beat Anthony Joshua. He knew the fact that Alexander Usyk was a great boxer and he had skill. And Tay Jones said something that I bet AJ regret that he didn't take that $50 million now. And so, absolutely right. This is going to be a bigger fight. If Alexander Usyk beats Anthony Joshua again, and Deontay Wilder does what he needs to do, this new event, Deontay Wilder, it's going to be a very interesting fight, because now if Deontay Wilder looks like he looks during training into the ring, and you got this version of Alexander Usyk, oh man, that's going to be a mega fight. Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Usyk for undisputed. One of these men will get undisputed. We might see Alexander Usyk do a whole different game plan for Deontay Wilder if they fight. It's going to be a very interesting fight, and it's going to be a great fight. And everybody's going to want to see it. And that fight could do 1 million pay-per-views. Because Alexander Usyk has a bigger name in the Ukraine. So who knows? Deontay Wilder might be fighting in Alexander Usyk backyard if that match take place. But that's just speculation. But the point of the matter is, Anthony Joshua needs to lose again, in my opinion. Because if he loses again, he's going to be put on the shelf for a very, very long time. And we could throw this out the window that AJ versus Tyson Fury is never happening. Yeah, y'all could fight with 9 belts. That'll be interesting. Y'all might do like 100, 150,000 pay-per-view buys because nobody ain't going to care about the fight. But let's just hope Deontay Wilder do his job, knock out Tyson Fury, which I believe he is. And, Alexander Usyk do his job one more time. And we could get an undisputed bout. And like I said before, one of those fighters is going to retire. I think if Deontay Wilder wins, he ain't going to have nothing left to prove. I think he's going to be done if he wins all the belts. If Alexander Usyk wins, I think Alexander Usyk might retire. Even though he had a little amounts of fights throughout his career because he had a huge amateur background, I think Alexander Usyk could retire. He might want to continue to fight to defend a few more belts, a few more title defenses, but I think he wind up retiring. But the bigger question is when Deontay Wilder retires. I think once Deontay beats Tyson Fury, once Deontay gives a few more guys, just retire. Because there's nothing left for Deontay to prove because he's already a Hall of Famer at that point. And Usyk is already going to be a Hall of Famer at that point. So I would like to see both of those guys retire, live the best of their lives with their families and stuff like that. Because y'all accomplished. Y'all did the things y'all needed to do in the sport of boxing. And y'all please the crowd as much as y'all can do. Even though Deontay Wilder was getting disrespected, you got to give the man his credit that he came from nothing. And all he knew was a 1-2. And it got him far at the end of the day. And y'all got to give Alexander Usyk his credit because a lot of European fighters doesn't make it that far. And he was the lucky one to make it that far. And there's a lot of European fighters that made it that far, but Usyk surprised everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.